in Romania, I did a Bitcoin guy brought me over there to do his birthday party.
Didn't you hang out with Andrew Tate over
there?
there?
I did. I did 20 minutes of comedy, and it bombed because it was people weren't really speaking English, and the ones that could didn't love me. So some of them liked me, and one guy pointed at me and just yelled Joe Rogan because he had seen me on this. Some Russian crazy guy just got up in the middle of the set and went, Rogan, Joe Rogan, and then sat down. And then they like brought him out. It was insane. But they paid me a lot of money to do it. And then there was, there's only one person there to really interview, and it was Andrew Tate. So I went to his house, and he's a lovely guy. Here's the thing about him and his brother. They are lovely people, whether they're human traffickers or not. They're lovely people. I'm not for human trafficking, but they took us out for a steak dinner, and there was women there, and a lot of the women were quiet. And I thought they were just quiet. That would be my story. If I'm called to testify, I would go, the women were quiet, and they were obedient, and many of them looked at the floor. But
really?
Yeah, it was, but it's Eastern Europe, Joe.
Right.
That's kind of the way they act. And coming from America, it was a little bit of a nice change of pace.
We stunned.
No, I mean, coming from, it was nice.
Were you stunned when you got arrested?
It wasn't stunning. It wasn't like when eventually I smoke another cigarette, would I be stunned that I have a cigarette in my hand? No. I wasn't stunned that he got arrested. It was surprising to me because, listen, people say things about somebody and you hope that they're not true, right? Because he has some wacky opinions, but he has some opinions that I would say are probably, pretty reasonable.
And interesting.
That people should, stop being victims and go out and work and figure stuff out, and that, this world does leave you out in many cases, and you have to figure a way around things, right? He calls it the Matrix or whatever, but you have to be pretty resilient. I think some of those messages are good. I think some of his stuff is funny and over the top, but you clearly don't want this to be true. No. You'd never want, this to be true, and I hope it's not true. They think it's true. I mean, the authorities.
Is Romania corrupt?
Yes, it's corrupt. It's a Soviet, Eastern Bloc country where I think a lot of people get paid off. I think Tate even talked about that it was kind of a corrupt country and that people just kind of paid each other off. And I think it's just the way a lot of those Eastern European countries work, where America's corruption is and Tate kind of made this point, right? American corruption is like big deal corruption. Billionaires. Right. You gotta have a lot of money to play the game. You gotta have the, serious capital. In places like that, you don't have to be a billionaire to influence things. You can have a small business and have enough money to be like you're in the game. You pay people off to get the business open, and then you pay people off to keep the business safe. And I think it's kind of maybe the way America worked in the 70s before corporations owned everything. It's what it seems like. But again, I only spent...
Why did he move to Romania? Isn't he from the UK?
Yes. Well, that's certainly not a great part of his defense, is that he's living in Romania. He did live there. His attitude was, I live here because I like the freedom to do what I want. But some of his detractors would say that it's easier to get away with stuff there. He's even kind of said that. You can kind of do what you want. You can kind of do what you want. Now, maybe that means driving your car fast. Also, it might mean, human trafficking. I don't know. So it runs the gamut. But you can get away. It's a weird place to live. If you could choose to live anywhere, it's an interesting place to live. The people were lovely.